All right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. It's 2021. It's a new year of golf, and with that comes a new format for the Pin High Podcast. We're going to become a more YouTube-friendly podcast with more segments, graphics. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and you want to be more interactive with the podcast, go over to YouTube, to our YouTube channel, the Pin High Podcast. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, it's episode 62. Let's go to this new segment, Inside the Ropes. So for this segment, basically just going to be doing a rundown of all the golf news of the week. Let's start out with Jon Rahm making headlines, switched from TaylorMade, now with Callaway. I forget what the golf course was actually specifically called, but he said in his first round with his new Callaway clubs, he shot a 59.
Are you serious?
Very nice.
So,
I wonder what made him move. Like, was it
I know
money, or was it
it has to be money in my opinion. I think personally TaylorMade's much better than Callaway. Just based off personal preference, based off the guys who play on tour. Like, they seem like a lot of top tier guys play Callaway, even like TaylorMade, like DJ, Tiger played like a sim driver.
I would have to imagine that I agree that it's money, because when you look at what he's doing, he also is now a Travis Matthews staffer. Like, I feel like he's becoming this bigger like branded athlete. He's like,
this is probably all about his agent.
He's going into that stage of his career where he's like very a lucrative athlete.
Yeah,
I feel like this is just a money grab, and maybe it doesn't really matter to him what equipment he uses, or else he probably wouldn't do it. But I think it's mostly for money.
And then even looking into just like who Callaway like has on board, like I think like right now, they have a lot of people on board, obviously, but I think they're like Phil Mickelson right now is like their marquee guy, like where like TaylorMade you have Rory and DJ and Tiger. Phil Mickelson's kind of their marquee guy right now. I think Callaway is looking for another person to kind of be that guy who goes on the front of everything, and like Jon Rahm is perfect for that.
I'll say I think this is kind of like thinking about the guys who have Callaway. You said like Kisner, like I think of like Adam Hadwin, like Thomas Peters, like
it's not really guys you
like Rahm seems like the kind of guy who would carry the brand like after Phil retires, and
that's actually probably how the Callaway marketing team or Callaway whoever pitched it to him said it, because you're basically automatically becomes the face of them. I mean, Phil, I guess you could say like
but he's
kind of fading off.
Yeah,
slowly.
Right, they're looking for their next guy, and I think it's a perfect move for both Jon Rahm and Callaway. So I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, I agree. Even thought of that until we just kind of started discussing it, but that's true. But speaking of,
and they probably paid him a ton of money.
Yeah, they definitely
ton of money.
Exactly.
But speaking of Callaway, the new. Actually, I'll let Jeek introduce this, since he's a big epic guy.
So Callaway, obviously every week on the PGA Tour there's like a list of clubs that you can and can't use pretty much. And this week added to the list we have the new Callaway Epic drivers. So the Epic Max, the Epic Max LS, and the Epic Speed. Obviously those aren't out yet, so maybe we'll see them this week first.
I mean,
Epic.
My Instagram Explore page is pretty much golf and baseball, like highlights and equipment things. So I've seen the Callaway.
Like, obviously seen them.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures of them. To me, it kind of looks like a hybrid of basically like the old, like the Maverick and the other Epic and a Sim. Kind of looks like they morphed it a little bit towards that way. Because I feel like it's a much
new technology,
bigger like club head, like the Sim, pretty much. I don't know, but I mean, speaking of,
I could say it's like more like, I can definitely say.
Did you just bring it up?
I just pulled it up. It's like silver, and like I can see the comparisons, like the Sim and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah,
and the Sim too. I mean, I bet you guys follow a lot of the TaylorMade guys on Instagram.
Yeah,
I mean, I follow like Morikawa and Rory, I think, and obviously Tiger, and they all posted today the the new kind. It wasn't really showing the sim, but they were all using like the new Sim 2 driver in a commercial. So we're probably going to see those rolling out this week at Kapalua. I feel like
yeah, you have new year, new equipment. I mean, obviously the new Cobra came out a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, that's green, right?
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but
green.
It's not called the green. I just know it's green. I'm forgetting. It is kind of ugly, but our Rick Shields did a review on it, and it was
the wrap speed. The wrap speed.
Review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So new year, new clubs. Obviously TaylorMade likes teasing their stuff in like commercials where like they're not exactly showing it, but like they are using those clubs in the commercials. So I thought that was interesting.
Wait, right. is the Sim 2 blue, or is it it blue?
I've seen it in blue, but I've also seen it in like just black and silver.
That's because I'm looking at it in black and silver, and the new Callaway Epic Speed, what I see right now is also black and silver. They literally look the exact same.
I guess we'll see this week.
Yeah, I wonder. They look
if that's very, very similar.
I wonder if that's about like feedback from like the pros and stuff like that. Like maybe they want it to be like less colorful, because obviously Callaway's gone green and then like orange. And, so I don't know. Yeah. Maybe
that's what honestly one of the reasons why I never loved Callaway is because I didn't love the colors. I have a Callaway 3, but I never loved like the color schemes of those clubs. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. So pretty much a lot of the stuff on the Inside the Ropes this week was pretty much just equipment deals, because we have our first week of PGA in a while. Yeah.
So that's it for that. Let's get into the Monday hypothetical. This is nothing new. This week we're doing our 2021 golf New Year's resolutions. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Mine's the break par on a course. I've never done it. Honestly, I might have said this last year if we did the New Year's resolutions.
Do you think?
Yeah, I'm starting to think about it too.
Silver Spring.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you think your best chances at Silver Spring or Silver Mine?
I think it would be Silver Spring. I know.
If you took around seriously at Silver Mine, it'd be possible if you played there.
I would say if I played seriously, if I played like it was like a tournament and like didn't use driver unless I was only left like the par fives, I could. And I was playing like really, really good, like peak performance of the year. Like I feel like I could break par at Silver Mine.
Yeah, but it's the putting that might get you.
Yeah, that's why I like Silver Spring. I feel like if I was playing my best I could Silver Spring, I think I could. I think I could break par. I think I really want to do that because I've shot par twice now, and I really want to break par. That's my resolution. Yeah.
All right. I'll go second. Mine's not really like a performance-based thing. It's more just like playing. This year, because of COVID, like we didn't really play anywhere. We wanted to play at Bethpage. We wanted to play at like Trump Links, Ferry Point. I just want to play at least one. If I really want to make it a resolution, I'll go say play at least 2 courses in the top 100.
I like that.
I showed the list the other day. I think I only played 2. Well, all of us. Well, Travis played more than 2, but
I think I played like
this year.
6.
Like some of them moved out. I played like 3. So I think it was Harbortown, Bethpage for all of us, and then the other one for me was Baltic Straw.
Right. Oh yeah, of course.
You've played a lot of other courses too. Mm-hmm. So mine, honestly, probably the same as what I said last year, but I want to limit my 3 putts to like once or like no times around. I feel like that's the easiest way to lower your score, like from the beginning, is like you don't have any 3 putts. So
I'd say I putt so much better at Trevor's club than our club, because
I actually agree too.
Greens are so much more consistent, probably.
Yeah, it's just the consistency. I feel like they roll like pretty true where
they do. And obviously you can work on that in general. At Silvermine, I don't know if that's going to happen, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to limit the 3 putts because there's just some weird stuff.
I mean, the course is pretty short, so they have to make it hard, like some way.
What the course gives up in distance, it makes up around the greens, because it's just a funky course.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like that's all we got for the New Year's resolutions. We posted on Instagram, of course, the Monday hypothetical. So if you want to tell us yours, you can comment that there. We post those every Monday. So let's move in to the People's Champ of the Week. This is a new segment. So it's basically just someone who did something awesome, or like, for example, we were talking about it beforehand. Harry Higgs, when he went driver and then like he drove the green and then put it in an eagle, and he was using like his golf club as a horse, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
so
stuff like that.
Feel good story or like something awesome that we
stories.
saw this week. Charity home ones, etc. So
since not a lot has been going on in the golf world recently, we're going this week with just the company Sentry, who hosts the Sentry Tournament of Champions. They're giving out reversible masks to the field this week. One side, I saw this on Golf Today, like the new Golf Channel show. One side was designed by a fourth grader from Maui, just as like Aloha on it, and the other was a high school from Wisconsin, and Sentry's like in Wisconsin, so and it was like a portrait of like some Wisconsin city or something like that. And yeah, they're just showcasing student artwork. So I feel like that was a pretty cool little thing from Sentry.
Can I actually add one? People's Champ.
Go ahead.
There was an Anthony Kim sighting.
I saw that.
Really?
That's got to be the People's Champ of the Week.
An Anthony Kim sighting in a rooftop bar in Dallas, apparently.
Yeah, he has a full tattoo sleeve now.
Yeah, I saw. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm like, wild, but
Anthony Kim.
Yeah, Anthony Kim sighting, like the guy like on tour, like Ryder Cup, everything like that. So and just see, I think they're every single time there's an Anthony Kim sighting anywhere, it's just posted on. It's like automatically like the golf world goes crazy. Right. So that could also be one of People's Champions of the Week. Anthony Kim.
Cool, People's Champ of the Week. That's going to be a new one every week. Hopefully we get a good one at the Sentry. So, Jeek, I think you wanted to introduce the next one.
Yeah, so let's get into the stat of the week. So each week we're going to do a stat that is surprising or obviously something that happened in the tournament the week before, just a crazy stat that happened the last week. So a stat that I saw this week, maybe not from the previous week, but just from the last season in general. Per hole that Dustin Johnson has played in 2020, he made about $21,000 per hole.
That is absurd.
You say 21,000 per hole?
Yes.
How many do you? I mean, I saw this thing on this Instagram account, golf. It's like the golf group chat memes or something. You guys follow that?
I do not know.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. So it's like how much you lose. It showed up that stat, and it shows how much you lose per round. And it was like $60 like per hole, like you lose like here it is. Full season minus $3,355 per round, $55 per hole, $3.05 per shot, 69 cents. You're just losing money the whole year because you're not making any money,
right?
As an amateur golfer.
Exactly.
So that's pretty crazy though. $21,000 per hole.
Yeah,
that's like one of those like things where like you're like the NBA thing where they show like, oh, this player like LeBron made this amount of money.
When A-Rod signed his really big contract back in like whatever it was like I feel like he was one of the first guys to sign like a really big contract in sports. Might have even been was it 10 year, 300 million or something. That was the first time it was 300 million. Like it was showing all those stats and it was just like per inning, per like at bat, all that weird stuff.
Per pitch probably is ridiculous.
But yeah, Dustin Johnson, clearly the winner of 2020, both on and off the course.
Everyone else had a bad year. He had probably the best year anyone could possibly have.
Honestly, yes, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he continues at a Kapalua.
Also, Dustin Johnson related, kind of off topic a little bit, but Wayne Gretzky got a hole in one last week.
I saw that.
Oh, so another People's Champion of the Week.
That could be another People's Champion.
Yeah, I just remembered that. But
yeah, so that's your People's Champion of the Week. I guess we all had 3. We're not always gonna have all 3, I bet, but there you go.
Yeah. On
that note, let's move to the course preview.
This week, Kapalua Plantation course, as you know, just looking at the notes that I actually had from last year, par 73, 75, 96, Bermuda grass. So kind of an awkward par 73. There's not a lot of those on tour. This is one of the only ones, I think. There's 4 par 5s, 11 par 4s, and 3 par 3s. There's a lot of elevation at Kapalua, so you might see some monster drives. And no, like they have, like, yes, people have been working in the off season, but if you see a 500-yard drive, it's not because everybody was getting Bryson gains. The driver isn't necessarily needed to win. With that being said, you can see a lot of irons off the tee. The fairways are pretty tight. The signature hole is obviously the 18th, the 680-yard par 5, which is like really long and scenic and stuff, which is kind of representative of all the holes.
Right.
And people who have a hot putter usually win the tournament. No first time starter has won since 2008. And yeah.
Who was that?
I don't even remember who won 2008.
Fair enough.
That's a while back.
Yeah.
The key stats this week to look at: strokes gained approach, strokes gained putting, as I said, and obviously just like ball striking and stuff.
Right.
Then looking at the field this week, it's usually just like the champions from the previous year, but this week we actually have a little bit of a twist. The PGA Tour extended invites to 16 players who didn't participate in did not win in 2020, but they made it to the Tour Championship. So that list kind of includes Schauffele, Finau, Matsuyama, Scheffler, Anser, Kisner, and Neiman, among others. And then just some of the other notables in the field: Bryson, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, John Rahm.
Yeah,
eight of the top 9 and 14 of the top 20 are playing this week. And the players who aren't playing this week: Rory McIlroy decided to stay home, Tyrrell Hatton decided not to play, and Jim Herman got COVID. So,
you know what? I realize that makes sense why Tony Finau's in the field, because they accept him. Because
I think we made fun of Tony Finau for not being in the
We did. I think we did,
but then he is. Yeah. So,
also that. 2008 Century Tournament Champions winner is Daniel Chopra.
Wow.
Nice. First time player
in between
winner.
Between like Vijay Singh and Jeff Ogilvy. So
yeah, I mean, just going in the previous winners right now. Justin Thomas won last year, obviously, when he beat Patrick Reed and Xander Schauffele in the playoff. And Schauffele won the year before that. And then just some other notables: Dustin Johnson's won twice, 2018, 2013. Justin Thomas won again in 2017, and then
Jordan Spieth back in 2016 broke like the scoring record.
Right. Yeah. And then Patrick Reed also has a win at this tournament.
And came in second last year.
So yeah.
Let's move into skins. This is the betting segment of the show. We already basically had a segment called Skins that was an IGTV series on Golf City Bets, but we're going to be focusing in. We're adding it to the show. Just the podcast makes more sense because we talk about the same thing. Let's start with favorites talk. The top 4. It's DJ, John Rahm, Justin Thomas, and I said we might as well talk Bryson just because of how polarizing he is just in general. But I was talking about this in my Golf City Bets article. Dustin Johnson at plus 650 is like just incredible. I mean, yeah, he's a past winner, and he had a sick.
He's won twice before, yeah, and he's been playing well.
He's playing so well, but it's just like it's a smaller field. I think it's 42 players, but that just shows like how good of a year he had. That Vegas is respecting like his ability to win that much.
Right, and then I
don't know if I like that though. I don't think I'd ever bet plus 650 on somebody to win.
Yeah, I would look to live bet it maybe, but I also like Justin Thomas's plus 800. He's also a 2-time winner of this tournament, especially last year. Also, we last saw him at the PNC Championship where he was just kind of lights out. So,
not gonna lie, I saw Justin Thomas on the putting green today at Kapalua, practicing putting, and he missed just about every single putt I watched. Just if anybody wants some insight there.
Well, maybe he wasn't trying to.
Now that you say that he's going to go out and shoot a 30 under this week.
He's going to lead the field in strokes gained putting next week.
He's going to focus his next 3 days on putting.
I'm just relaying you some insider information from somebody who's watching the Golf Channel at 2 p.m. on a Monday. So
that's how things are.
What happens when you're home from college? So let's go into DraftKings, and then we'll get into betting after that. Usually we're going to do like a higher/mid guy and then one value play. I think this week you could potentially say a value play is not even like that low because it's only a 42-man field.
Yeah. I was going to say that too.
Yeah. So, but like that's what me and Trevor I did think as I'm looking at it here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start. We'll do our patented snake draft that I hopefully won't mess up. So my first one, I got Pat Cantley. He's 9,800. He was 18th in strokes gained approach in 2020. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but at the Zozo, when he won down the stretch versus JT that week, he like figured something out with his putting where he was just like draining everything. It was something about like with a follow through. So, I mean, if you get hot with the putter, obviously here, like Jeek said, it's really good. And obviously he's a good iron player. and he's really good with the driver as well. And then I'm already messed up the snake draft because I'm not going next.
First of 2021. I'll go next. My high bid guy, I'm gonna go with Victor Hovland at 9,200. I mean, arguably he was the hottest golfer before he went to that small break, including a win at the Mayakoba. His putting's been on and off this year, but his ball striking has been amazing to start 2021. He's 11th in strokes gained off the tee and 21st in strokes gained tee to green to start the year. Last year he finished 10th in strokes gained approach, and I'm kind of looking for him to keep up the good form. Maybe he's figured something out to the point where he's like finishing top 15 in like every tournament he plays. So let's see if Victor Hovland could kind of keep up that hot streak.
I'll go with my high guy. I'll go Patrick Reed, 9,600. It's probably one of the best forms of the field if you want to even include form after he finished 3 shots behind Fitzpatrick at the DP World Championship. I think that was a month ago, but he also won this event in 2015, finished runner-up in 2016. And he was in the playoff last year with JT and Schauffele, so he knows his course, and he's notoriously been one of the best putters on tour since he's been around. So I like him at 9,600. I think he has a good chance to play well. My low mid guy or a low salary play is Cameron Smith at 8,400. He's 21st in strokes gained putting, 37th in strokes gained total, so we can get hot with the putter clearly. He won in Hawaii last year at Sony Open, so maybe he has the Hawaii vibe going. Plays well here again. He played great at the Masters a couple months ago, so maybe he takes that momentum with him. Knows he can play with the big boys out here.
Yeah, I like that
Smith
pick.
is pretty damn solid.
Yeah, so I actually went for a low guy for my low pick, and I'm taking a bit of a flyer here. I went with Kevin Knott, 6,700. That's like very low for this tournament. Kind of been a rocky start to 2021. Since the Masters, he hasn't really been in the best run of form, and he didn't really play well here like last year either. He finished T32nd, I think, so that's not that great.
Make more of a case for him, please.
Yeah, but with that being said, we do know Kevin is like one of the best players on tour. He was 5th in strokes gained putting last year. So if he stays in the fairways and putts fairly well at 6,700, he could probably make a run in this tournament.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, anybody who can get out with the putter. And he was pretty sick at the QBE shootout at putting.
He was sick at the QBE shootout.
So we shall see. So my low, I guess we'll put quotation marks on the low. One is Joaquin Niemann at 8,300. So he came T5 here last year. I think it was his debut last year at this tournament, I would assume. And he was 15th in strokes gained approach in 2020. So obviously he's a good iron player. And as small as he is, he was 53rd in driving distance. He drove at 301.7 yards per drive. I mean, you see his swing, his head's like on a different plane, or like on a plane with like the ball at contact. It's weird. But I feel like he's a good player that, could actually finish pretty high up there for 8,300. That's not that high of a salary this year. This tournament.
He's played here a couple of times before, so I think he
has.
Yeah, I remember he came T5 last year, so I think last year was his first.
So young that I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's like 22, I think.
Yeah, so. I don't think he's played here beyond just last year.
I used to think about like a video of him hitting like a super low stinger with the driver on one of the holes here. Like that was like here, so that's just what I remember.
Yeah, and you saw JT with the low stinger on Instagram the other day, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Ball's
on
gonna
that
fly
note,
this week.
What'd you say?
Ball's gonna fly this week.
Yes, it is. It always does. I mean, this week it really depends. I mean, on the weather. Like last year, I'm pretty sure the weather was bad one of the days, and they didn't end up shooting that low. But if the weather's good all 4 days,
it's all about the winds, it goes with any stuff like coming off the coast. Like I feel like this course has more like coastal holes than like any other course like out there.
Yeah, so it's very like fluctuated with what the winning scores were. Like last year, wasn't it 14-ish? I want to say. Yeah, 14. 14 got into the playoff, and then
14
playoff.
Okay, I don't think so.
And the 14, and then the playoff, like whatever they did there. I think it went into like multiple holes. I remember because it always ends on like Sunday night at like 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah,
like it's like after golf. It's after like you're watching football or something like that. Or you're watching I don't know, something else, and you turn it on. Exactly. It's like you're like, oh, there's still golf on. It's kind of cool.
Same weekend as the NFL wildcard though, so
yeah,
it should be interesting. So on that note, let's move into the bets portion. So this is just, this is betting, not DFS. Who wants to go first?
I'll start this round because I went last time.
Right.
So
we'll
I'll
reverse
go with
the snake draft.
Yes. I'll go with my winner, Xander Schauffele at plus 1,000. Just because, again, love this guy when he plays in big fields with good players. Finished second here last year in the playoff. Won the tournament in 2019. Always plays, like I said, always best in the best field. So I think he's kind of maybe turning into a little bit of a course horse. He's playing, and he hasn't won in a while, so I think he's hungry for a win. So
you guys combined have picked Xander Schauffele to win so many tournaments.
Oh yeah, he's
I don't even think he won last year. Any of them.
He didn't win.
No, he didn't win. He didn't win. He was talking about it on the
Course
the golf channel today. He was like, "Yeah, it feels kind of weird being here, like, and I didn't win."
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So I think he's out. I think he's out to prove someone wrong. So or prove them wrong. He's still one of the guys. So I think I like him to win this week.
Right.
Should I go my best bet? Or
yeah,
you
do your best
bet too for bets. Yeah.
So my best bet is Tony Finau, top 10. Again, only played here once because he's only won once. Plus 138. Like we've mentioned, when Hovland won the Mayakoba, it's a Puerto Rico curse over. He could you win? That'd be hilarious if Finau won his next event. I think he'll be able to take advantage of the par fives and shorter holes with his length and bomber's course. Kind of hit like that last hole just screams like drivable par five. And then he's 10th in strokes gained tee to green and 9th in strokes gained total on tour. So I love him this week. Finished top 10.
Yeah, so I'm gonna build off of that. I was locked into this pick this week because I said with like no matter what tournament he was playing in, I'm picking Tony Finau to win the next tournament.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Tony Finau plus 2,200 to win tournament. Puerto Rico curse is over. This is his first tournament since it's ended. He really excelled in 2020 as well. Strokes gained approach and strokes gained tee to green, 21st and 11th. Has a very high birdie rate as well, and he's just like a really solid player.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's time. Like Tony Finau needs a win. He was on pretty good form recently as well. So, like I said, I was locked into this pick, but he could win. So, absolutely. And then Trevor and I were kind of on the same, had the same mindset here with Cameron Smith. They have the nationality bets this week. So I have Cameron Smith, top Australian, plus 138. He's only up against Mark Leishman and Adam Scott. I feel like he's the best one out of those three.
I love that.
He's only played here once. He's a T17 in 2018. But like Trevor said before, usually fares well in Hawaii. He won the Sony Open last year. He's finished in the top 25 of that event the last 5 years. I think he's played there. And he's a pretty good putter. 21st in strokes gained putting. So I don't know. I like Cameron Smith. He only has to beat out 2 other guys plus 138. Not bad value either. So.
All right, so for my winner this week, I think Pat Cantley's obviously a good bet and whatever, but I wanted to kind of diversify the portfolio. With my winner, I'm going Colin Morikawa at 25-1. I think, for those top tier guys, which I would categorize him as a top tier guy because he's probably the best iron player on tour behind JT. I mean, he was second in strokes gained approach. I think JT was first. So I think 25-1 is good value. He finished T7 last year, and it was his first time playing at Kapalua. I'd say he should probably put out another good result out here. He just really needs to get the putter hot. He's not like the best putter, but I feel like I think his proximity with his strokes gained approach is like insane. So we shall see about that. And then my best bet this week, it's kind of digging deep. It's Robert Streb at top 30 plus 110. It's a 42-man field. It shouldn't be. I mean, yes, he's not.
Got to beat out 12 other guys.
I know he still has to beat out 12 other guys, but he came T8 in his only other start here. I mean, his last start, in general, was at the Mayakoba Classic. Won it for the second time. Those are his only 2 PGA Tour wins. So the last time he won the Mayakoba Classic, he played here and came T8. I feel like
he could even get like a T30, like a T28, T30. Like it doesn't even need to be in the top.
Get a T29 and T30 and a 42-man field, and this bet hits.
He just needs 12 players to finish fourth. Right. I mean, he's got that.
And before we move on, I wanted to propose a little idea for the new scoring system that we have for bets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We make since it's called skins. Every week, who like if one person wins, they get the skin that week.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then
I like this.
2 people could win and one doesn't, but like nobody gets a skin, just like,
I like that.
actual skins.
And you get multiple
and then the
skins.
next week
And
too, yeah.
We're broke college students, so we're not gonna, put too much on the line. But I was thinking $3 a week.
Add it up at the end of the year.
No, because then that's
season.
a big that could potentially
pot.
be we'll do it week by week payment.
Okay.
Because you can spare $3 on a Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do. Make it a little bit interesting. So we'll see what happens next Sunday. Who's paying who, or if no one's paying.
So how is this? Since there's a best bet and a winner?
No, it's not the winner. The winner's just
it's just the best bet.
Yeah.
Just the best bet.
A little more incentive to have a good best bet too.
No, so. How about if you get a winner and someone else, the people's best bets hit? If you get a winner, you automatically win that week.
That's fair.
How about that?
Sure.
Because like the winner is kind of hard.
It just cancels out the best bet.
Yeah.
Well, say if Pat picked, if Morikawa wins this week, and Pat picked him, but Jake and I won our best bets, then Pat wins the week because he picked the winner. The winner would trump everything.
Yeah, sure. The winner beats best bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some incentive to win.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we move into our next segment, we're just gonna go over real quick. We've been doing NFL picks every week. We're stopping that because this is a golf podcast. But me and Trevor both lost ours. We don't really need to talk about the Bears because Oh wait, no, they made the playoffs. Huh? Okay,
still in the playoffs.
Giants didn't make the playoffs. We don't need to talk about that. But Jake won his best bet.
Dude, I went that's 5-1. I went 5-1 in NFL, but that's enough.
It's enough. That's enough NFL talk for the rest of the history of the podcast.
Yeah.
This new segment, it's called In the Clubhouse. It's how we're gonna cap off all our episodes. We've had our par threes that you've listened to if you've been listening to the podcast. Birdies and bogeys. Where else do we come up with? Since it's kind of the start of a new season, I know the season already started, but it's new year. We're doing a storyline or a player you'll closely be watching in 2021.
It's a par three.
It's just one per person.
Okay.
I mean, I'll go first. I'm gonna go with the player that I picked to win this week, Tony Finau. I mean, obviously he hasn't won a lot. He's won once. Yes. But he's always like finishing in the top 10, top 20. He's up around there. He's one of the better golfers. I'm also curious to see. Obviously, we had the Bryson DeChambeau thing last year where he kind of bulked up and started hitting some pretty long drives.
So you're just taking two of the big storylines.
So no. So I'm looking for Tony Finau. He's been tinkering with his swing a little bit to see how far he could hit it. Right. So I'm kind of looking to see Tony Finau not only to start winning some tournaments, but also see what he could do as far as hitting the driver and see if he actually goes after Bryson with the swing speeds and the
You'd have to imagine he could just let it fly this week because the fairways are so wide. So if there was going to be a week where he would test it out, it would be this one.
Could be here, yeah. Beginning the season too.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I'll go with mine. I want to see how the I guess sophomores on tour do. I want to see how Colin Morikawa, Victor Hovland, and Matthew Wolff do. I want to see if one of them could potentially get their first major. I mean, Colin Morikawa already did. Wow. But if just what kind of stepping stone, because they all kind of they all were really good this year.
I mean,
Colin Morikawa got the major.
I put Sanjay M in that category too. He's also like very young.
I guess, yeah.
He's like pretty much in his sophomore year.
Like I was thinking, like, okay, whatever Pat says, I'm gonna take either Hovland or Wolf. Pat took both of them, and then Jeek just said Sungjae Im. I'm like, I was gonna take him next. So, I'll go with my storyline. Will be, I think just we say this every year, but Jordan Spieth. See if he can get it back. See if he can play well in a couple tournaments. I know we'd all love to see it. Yeah, and so I just like everyone wants to say golf is better with Jordan Spieth, but it's playing well. And if he plays well, if he's competing at the Masters, competing at tournaments, like it makes it much more exciting. People will love the game more, more than they have to do right now. So, love to see Jordan Spieth back.
I saw something on the DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm pulling it up right now. About Jordan Spieth's like odds to win a tournament, and it was dangerously low. I think to not win a tournament, it was like minus 200.
Oh my God!
And like that's crazy for Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Jordan Spieth to win a tournament is only plus 150. For reference, Dustin Johnson is minus 770 to win a tournament.
Wow, crazy.
That's just that. I mean, like,
Big
I wouldn't doubt if he doesn't win one. Like, he just really hasn't shown any,
that's unbelievable
sign that he will. He's had spurts of good rounds, but he's just I feel like he's too inconsistent throughout even a weekend to win a tournament.
And like
right
honestly,
now.
like you probably say no. He'd probably say you wouldn't win a tournament.
Probably no. It's only minus 200.
Minus 200. Yeah, exactly.
Basically, he's played. Throw $100 and win 50 by just rooting against Jordan Spieth every weekend, which I'd never want to do because I love Jordan Spieth, but that just wouldn't be fun. But yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt it. It's probably If there's any Jordan Spieth haters,
I would never want to pick someone not to win a tournament. Maybe Patrick Reed, but never want to pick someone not to win a tournament, especially Jordan Spieth.
That'd be kind of fun. So.
You
have someone to root against every week.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny though.
And most weeks you'd win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Almost every
but you get like screwed like the last week of the year.
No, it's
like
basically
you get to the
a survivor pool.
Yeah.
Like who can last longest without winning?
Yeah.
Honestly, we should do that. That'd be kind of
maybe we should throw down a bet on somebody.
Yeah. New segment where we pick a guy that isn't gonna win.
Yeah. All right. So I think that'll do it. We're trying to make the episodes much more compact, much more like much less nonsense talk about NFL and stuff. So hopefully you guys liked that on YouTube. If you were watching on YouTube, if not, maybe watch it on YouTube next week. Other than that, we'll see if our bets hit at Kapalua, and we'll see you next week.